Oh, yo, yo. Today, I got a goofy story. I'm gonna just start and say today. Hey, chat, today. Please don't escalate this further until I say today. What's going on today? Of course, it's a story with me and Nick and Judy. It's another me, Nick, and Judy story because I felt like it. Please don't escalate this any further until I say fair enough. Okay, you guys are all hanging out on a perfectly ordinary day. Okay, thanks, Ray A2D. Okay, and the weather's nice. Nobody's in trouble yet. And there's no anvils falling from the sky. Why would we go from that to anvils, bro? Niggas lounging around looking suspiciously relaxed. Judy's enjoying the peace and quiet while it lasts, and all the eyes turn toward you. Because whenever a story starts like this, you're usually about 3 seconds away from doing something that changes everything. What is it? Okay, let me think. Is it at the pool or where is it? I say pizza. What? I don't even like pizza. Don't get mad at me for saying that, y'all. I don't even like pizza. Respect my opinion and I'll respect yours. Okay. But anyway, I say something like, okay. Shy. I meant why? Why not? Starts in the living room, actually. Oh my God. If you keep repeating, please don't escalate this any further until I say, you guys are in the living room. The room's quiet. Nick glances around and says, okay, what's the catch? Judy looks up from her book. You got a book? What catch? The room's too quiet. Someone ends up doing something ridiculous. Points directly at you. I'm looking at the usual suspect. Got a point. Both of them turn to stare at you. It appears Judy's gonna let me watch Family Guy, but Nick won't. Oh my God. If you repeat that one more time, man, you grab the remote and flip on Family Guy. The theme song, Nick sits up on the couch. Bro, you keep watching. Bro, you glance over. Nick points at the TV. You're too young. Judy looks up from the book for about 2 seconds. Oh, Family Guy. She goes right back to reading. Nick stares at her. That's it. That's your response. Judy shrugs and says it's the TV show. Nick throws his arms in the air. I thought I was the irresponsible one around here. Meanwhile, you're watching the episode. Judy's reading. Nick's having a personal crisis because he's somehow become the most concerned person in the room. I'm filing a complaint. Judy turns in a page. It says denied. I didn't even tell you what it is. Still denied. Okay, Judy can't read in this house anymore. Okay, without warning, you snatch that out of Judy's paws and you eat it straight out the window. Whoosh. Doing goofy eye voice line because okay, Ray, we'll get that in a second. And you just straight out the window. A second later, there's a faint thump from somewhere outside. You point at the TV and say, "You're supposed to watch TV." The room goes completely silent. Nick lowers the bag of chips he was eating. You threw the book. Yeah, out the window. Yeah. Nick looks at Judy. Judy looks at the open window. Judy looks back at you. She calmly stands up. Oh no, says Nick. Judy walks over to the window. Oh no, no, no. She looks outside. Oh, this is bad. You squint. What? Judy points outside. The book landed in a bush. A bush, I'm sorry. You shrug. Okay, so the bush was fine. Okay, the garden gnome wasn't. Nick immediately rushes to the window. The what? I named him 6 minutes ago. Mr. Wobblikins. You know, most people ask someone to watch TV. Nick nods. Most people don't launch Twitter or return to low Earth orbit. We go back in for a commercial break for a SpongeBob circus. Basically, that was in town, you know? And Judy sees this ad and drags us to the car for an hour drive there. So let me explain the SpongeBob circus. So it's basically like, let's say, so it's basically like a show of SpongeBob SquarePants. You go to like I go to the Greensboro Coliseum to watch these things. There's like a show. Here, let me, the SpongeBob circus. The SpongeBob circus is basically a circus that's SpongeBob themed. You know? You feel me? Uh, now, here's the next part for you. Bruh. Either one, bruh. Either one. I don't want to see it yet. I don't want to see it. Dude. Dude. Which response do we prefer? Okay. Okay. Please, you, Nick, and Judy, head back inside, settle into the living room. The show cuts to a commercial break. This announcer's voice blasts through the TV. This weekend only, the amazing SpongeBob Circus. The screen fills with giant inflatable pineapples, circus tents, bubble machines, performers dressed like sea creatures, and enough yellow decorations to be visible from space. You glance at the TV, Nick glances at the TV, Judy's ears immediately stand straight up, featuring acrobats, clownfish performers, jellyfish light shows, and the legendary Krabby Patty cannon. Judy slowly puts down the remote. Oh no. Nick notices, and Judy keeps staring at the commercial. Oh no. Ends, Judy turns around. She has the expression of someone who has already made a decision. 5 minutes later, you guys are sitting in the car. The engine starts. You blink. Nick blinks. You look at Judy. Where are we going? Judy says, you'll see. Immediately becomes suspicious. Well, Nick does. An hour later, the car pulls into the massive parking lot. You and Nick look out the windows. In front of you stands a giant circus tent covered in yellow and blue decorations. A huge sign reads SpongeBob Circus. There are giant pineapple props, bubble machines carrying SpongeBob merchandise. A cardboard cutout of SpongeBob is somehow 30 feet tall. Bruh, why 30 feet tall? Why not 5 feet? You stare, Nick stares. Judy's already halfway out of the car. Come on. Nick looks at you. She kidnapped us, pretty much. Judy points toward the entrance. We're going in, Nick says. You know, when I woke up today, I didn't think I'd be attending a SpongeBob themed circus. A giant bubble float passes and pops directly on his nose. He freezes. You try not to laugh. Judy absolutely fails to hold her laughter. You three head toward the enormous circus to see what kind of ridiculous attractions are waiting inside. We get seated and we get seated and the show starts. Okay. No one expects a SpongeBob circus. Who thinks of that? Dude. Shut up with please don't escalate this any further till I say. The three of you make your way into the tent and find your seats. The place is packed. Kids are pointing everywhere. Bubble machines are working overtime. Okay. Somewhere in the distance, a performer dressed like a jellyfish is riding a unicycle for reasons nobody can explain. Y'all sit down. Nick and Judy sit down. The lights dim. And the crowd cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, boos the ringmaster. Welcome to the SpongeBob Circus. The audience erupts. Confetti cannons fire. Nick gets hit in the face by exactly one piece of confetti. He picks it off his nose and says, of course. Music starts blasting. Performers dressed as sea creatures run to the ring doing flips and cartwheels. Why, bruh? Judy's having the time of her life. Nick's pretending not to enjoy it. You can tell he's failing. Then comes the first major act. There are three acrobats dressed like jellyfish swing from the ceiling. The crowd gasps, one does a flip, then another flip. Somehow flips while doing a flip. Nick leans forward. Okay, that's actually impressive. I knew you'd like it, said Judy. I did not like it. I didn't say I liked it. A fourth acrobat swings by. Nick immediately points. That was awesome. Judy smirks. A little while later, a giant pineapple shaped cart rolls into the ring. The announcer shouts, prepare yourselves for the Krabby Patty cannon. The audience loses its mind. Nick looks at the giant cannon. The giant cannon looks back. Why is there a cannon? Nobody answers. A performer climbs inside. Drum roll begins. The cannon fires with a loud boom. Performer flies across the ring, lands safely on a giant inflatable burger. Crowd goes wild. Nick stands up. Okay, that was cool. Judy's laughing so hard she could barely sit still. The show continues, getting progressively weirder and somehow more entertaining with every act. Judging behind the giant curtain being pulled across one side of the tent, it looks like the next performance is going to be even bigger than the cannon. Let me explain the next performance. SpongeBob and friends come out and perform something. How about that? That's the best part of the circus. Okay, the giant curtains open. Audience immediately starts cheering. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just ignore the first sentence. Out come people dressed as SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Sandy. Judy practically jumps out her seat. Look! Nick glances over. I think everybody in the tent noticed. Music starts playing. SpongeBob and Patrick in a goofy odd dance routine involving giant bubbles, oversized beach balls, a surprising amount of spinning. Patrick accidentally launches a beach ball into the crowd. Why, bruh? The crowd launches it right back. Patrick acts shocked. The audience loves it. Squidward stands in the middle of the ring holding the clarinet. He dramatically clears his throat. The music stops. The entire tent becomes silent. Squidward begins playing. Honk. A second note follows. Another honk. A third, and yet another honk. The audience bursts out laughing. Nick nearly falls out of his seat. Oh no, they actually did it. Squidward throws his arms out dramatically as he's performing the greatest concert in history. Sandy then swings down from the ceiling on the rope, lands perfectly in the center ring. The crowd cheers. Judy cheers even louder. Bruh, Judy, is Sandy your favorite character? Then comes the finale. A giant inflatable pineapple raises from beneath the stage. Bubbles machines go into overdrive. Confetti flies everywhere. SpongeBob and friends lead the entire audience in a ridiculously catchy song about living under the sea. By the end, half the crowd's clapping along. Judy's singing, you're singing, Nick's trying not to sing. 5 seconds later, he's singing too. Judy immediately points at him. Nick freezes. Aha! No evidence. You were singing. Nope, you knew all the words. Pure coincidence. The song ends with a huge burst of bubbles filling in the air. The audience jumps to its feet, cheering and applauding. As performers bow, a sign lights up over the ring. Intermission. More shows coming soon. Nick sits back down. Bro, that's a good ending for the thing. That's a good ending. Nick sits back down. Okay. Judy smirks. Okay, what? Circus is actually pretty good. Judy pumps a fist in victory. I knew it. The show ends, and boom, it's 10 p.m. The rest of the SpongeBob circus flies by. There are more acrobats, more bubbles. At least one act that nobody fully understands. Everybody applauds anyway, and somehow before any realize it, boom, it's 10 p.m. Final performers take their bows. Bro, I should have put that Wario was in that Wario was on the show. Okay, well, Bubbles. No one act that nobody fully understands. Everybody applauds anyway. Somehow before any of y'all realize it, boom, it's 10 p.m. They take their bows, give the crowd give one last huge cheer. The lights come out, the people begin filling out of the giant tent. You stretch, Judy stretches. Nick Wild checks his time on the phone. He said, it checks it again. It's 10. Judy Hopps nods happily. Best circus ever. We've been here for hours. Yep. Nick points accusingly. You tricked us. Judy grins. I prefer the term surprised. You kidnapped us. Semantics, whatever that word is. Y'all head out into the cool night air. Parking lot stuff full of people leaving the show. Giant circus tent glows in the distance. For a moment, everyone just stands there. Judy says happy. I'm glad we came. Nick groans. Yeah. Judy's ears perk up. Was that a compliment? No. You enjoyed it? No. You sang during the SpongeBob song. No evidence. You start laughing. Nick immediately points at you. Don't start. The three of you climb back into the car for the hour-long ride home. As Judy starts the engine, Nick leans back in his seat. I'm sleeping the whole ride. 5 minutes later, he's asleep. 10 minutes later, he's snoring. Judy glances in the rearview mirror. That didn't take long. Why would I capitalize up? What's a kitty? I meant Judy. Judy clearly was laughing. She even recorded and posted it on YT. Okay, 15 minutes away from the house, the car's quiet. The road's dark, the radio's low. Nick Warhol is completely asleep in the passenger seat without any warning whatsoever. Ah. You scream at the top of your lungs. Nick launches straight upward. What? Ooh, where? He smacks his head on the headrest and stares looking around the car like he's expecting a dinosaur to be chasing you. Judy nearly has to pull over. She's laughing so hard she can barely breathe. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Nick finally realizes nothing is wrong. He turns towards you, then toward Judy. Back towards you. You did that on purpose. Judy's laughing too hard to answer. In fact, she had started recording right before it happened. Nick's eyes wide. You recorded it? Judy nods, still laughing. You knew that was going to happen? A few minutes later, Judy's giggling every time she replays the video. Consists of Nick sleeping peacefully. Your son screamed. That got me laughing so hard. Nick achieving approximately 3 feet of vertical lift. Judy laughing so hard the camera shakes. Now Nick buries his face in his paws. This is gonna haunt me forever. Judy watches it again and starts laughing. She still chuckles by the time the car reaches the driveway. Nick gets out of the car and points at both of you. I trusted this vehicle. It gets a million views and a lot of comments and likes. In the house. So Judy uploads it to YouTube, gets 1 million views. Holds her phone, still giggling. You and Nick are taking your shoes off, and she casually says, "Oh, by the way, I uploaded the video." Nick freezes. You what? The video. What video? The one where you woke up like a rocket launch. Nick slowly turns around. You uploaded it? Judy nods. Yep. Nick stares at his phone. Then at Judy. Then back at the phone. A few minutes later, the video starts gaining views. A lot of views, and a certain amount of views. Says comment says, "Bro woke up in a different dimension. Jump deserves an Olympic medal." The screen was loud enough to alert neighboring galaxies. Judy's laughing every time she scrolls. You're reading comments. Nick walks into the room. How bad is it? Nobody answers. How bad is it? Judy turns the phone around. Nick sees the view count. Silence. More silence. He sees the comments. Even more silence. He points to the screen. 1 million. Judy nods. 1 million. Nick looks like his soul just disconnected from the server. Without saying another word, he walks down the hallway, opens the closet, steps inside, slam. The door closes. You and Judy stare at the closet. A few seconds pass. Comes from inside a muffled voice. "I live here now." Judy starts laughing again. "I can't believe 1 million people watched that from inside the closet. I can't believe you posted it." I pause. Then, "Do not open this door." Judy takes another look at the comments and starts laughing all over again. The closet remains shut. Nick has chosen closet life for now. Hey, what's it say? By the next day, okay. We're Siamese twins, I guess. Attached at the hip. Mm. Meanwhile, with Nick Wilder refusing to come out the closet, you and Judy decide to head out to the pool. The particular story universe, the two of you move around together as Siamese twins, which makes certain activities interesting. Getting through the back door takes a bit of coordination. Getting pool towels takes more coordination. Well, I mean, when I say we're Siamese twins, I mean, actually, nah, each other's presence. You two head out to the pool. Night air is cool and the water reflects the moonlight. Back in the house, the door remains firmly shut. I'm still embarrassed. Neither of you respond. Out by the pool, things are much more peaceful. After a very long day, it somehow includes the SpongeBob Team Circus, an hour-long drive, a legendary wake-up screen, a viral video, Nick moving in the closet. Judy shakes her head and laughs. When I woke up this morning, I did not expect any of that. Same. For a while, you both relaxed and enjoyed the calm. Your phone buzzes, another notification. Judy glanced at, oh wow, what now? The video's still getting comments. From in the house, stop reading them. You recognize Nick's voice. Judy starts laughing. The night continues peacefully by the pool while Nick remains committed to his self-imposed closet exile, hoping to eventually discover something else to talk about. Remember, remember, we sleep in the same bed. Add that to your memory. I forgot to capitalize. Remember, did I even need to capitalize that? Dude, I misspelled it. Here's an unimportant detail, but it's kind of weird. Because when I hug her, I ain't letting go. Oh, by the way, same for her also. Now add that to your memory. Okay. I saved that as a preference for your recurring stories. By the time midnight rolls around, it's been a very long day. SpongeBob Circus, the viral video, all this fun I caught up with everyone. You guys heading from the pool and get ready for bed. The house is quiet mostly. You pass the hallway, the closet door is still shut. A muffled voice comes from inside. I'm not coming out until that video disappears. Judy laughs. It's been hours, Nick. I have my principles. You and Judy continue on while Nick remains committed to his bizarre protest. You both settled in the bed. The lights are off. The room's peaceful. Within minutes, you're both comfortable and relaxing. No screaming, no circus music either. No viral videos being uploaded, just quiet midnight. And somewhere from down the hallway, I just checked. It's at 1.3 million views. Ugh. A loud thump followed as if Nick fell over in the closet. Judy just started laughing into her pillow. And that's how the day ended. You and Judy just trying to get some sleep while Nick continues his ongoing battle against the internet from inside a closet. The end. After a day that includes watching Family Guy in the living room, a book being launched out the window, the tragic downfall of Mr. Wobblekin's The Garden Gnome, a surprise trip to the SpongeBob themed circus, a giant Krabby Patty cannon, an hour-long drive home, the loudest wake-up call, a viral video with over 1 million views, and Nick Wilde voluntarily moving into a closet. The house went quiet. You go to bed at midnight. Nick remained in the closet, questioning every life decision now led to becoming an internet sensation. Some say he's still checking the view count to this day, but that's a story for another time. The end. Roll credits. Well, that's all for me. Besides, it's 10 o'clock anyway. The end.